aloof of their surroundings, and so would not be mindful of what they say, how they say, and when they say things. And then the biggest indicator of things going wrong around us is the fact that a lot of the children that I've come across in the past few weeks, right, are seemingly oblivious of their surroundings. I mean, totally oblivious. When I was growing up in Housing Estate, I knew I think by the time I was 10 or 11, oh yeah, I used to go to the market. I knew the routes to take to get to morning market. Or then back in those days, it used to be 10 naira to take a taxi to go to the evening market. That's at Rumasi Junction, the Junction Market. I knew how to do that. But a lot of children these days don't. Those who know how to take taxis and buses to school, right, are also not aware of how safe or unsafe a particular place they are in should and can be, and what they should be doing. A lot of children are oblivious. I see some of them walking on the street. They don't care. They don't know what to do. They're not paying cognizance to whether a car is coming. Nothing. Not a thing. Look, we know that there's no one size fit them all. There's no rule book to being the perfect parent. And sometimes, and maybe this is one of those times, forgive us, people idealize the type of parent that they want to be or they should be, or what life they would like, to have when their child or their babies come. We put a lot of expectations on ourselves, and the expectations are good, but sometimes maybe unrealistic. But by and large, the resources as parents is that we are meant to pass on the very best of information that we have from our own experiences to that of our children, and so prepare them for the future. But it seems as though a lot of those things I just made mention of are not happening. So, how would you, once again, identify someone who is, in quote, a fit or unfit parent? With stories of parents abusing children, whether it's physically, sexually, emotionally, psychologically. A lot of you are products of abuse, and you don't know so until you are doing the same thing to your children as we speak today. So what would you say, or how would you respond if a man comes to you and say, you, sir, are not a fit father, or you, ma, you are not a good mother?
The views that against shared program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
One 7923 0817 You can also try the smart number 070 0923 0923 070-0923-0923. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Port Harcourt. Hello, River State.
Good morning.
Jude.
Yes, please.
This topic is similar to the topic discussed some time ago. And I asked you one question, so you didn't answer. I asked the question. I asked you that time. Okay, let me ask you. I said as good and beautiful as heaven is being described to be. I've not been to heaven, but I've seen pictures, of how it looks. Everybody will not go to that place. As hellish or as hot as, yes, now, dude, as hot as hell would be for those who believe in it, anyways, because it is depicted. As hot as it would be, not everybody will go to hell. Dude, as good as university, not everybody will
attend school. True, very
school,
true.
As good as education. They say, education is the key. Education is the paradox. Education is the food, is the bread and butter. Not every many. It can be applied in many ways. Choosing that doesn't mean giving birth. No, it's not all about reproduction. So the truth is that not everybody will give birth. Some people are medically fit, clean bill of health, but they will not give birth to a child. Because of them, they choose not to.
Okay.
It's voluntary.
So sorry, because I speak to that call. So let's keep right. How would you be able to identify somebody with a fit parent?
Yes. Although the parent is fit, because of circumstances can prevail on somebody. Just like tell you who gets gone back. Beyond stress can really change your mindset and things worse. But the demonstration you gave is like you parents can that parent actually said it's time or people.
Okay. Nigel, good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Good evening.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, everybody are giving that ordinance to the areas. Everybody under the permanent are giving that ordinance to reduce according to like everybody wants to be deeper than what we are today. You know the problem of Nigeria today? When we're in school, those ones that normally have carryovers don't attend classes.
Okay.
Those ones that are always a problem are the ones at the aims of affair today. Can you see the implication? Does it mean that there are no other people that went to school with them? No, sir. Some people fail to carry out their responsibility. How do you spot a true and qualified parent? Number one is countenance. Number two is communication power. The ability to communicate. Is he communicating with his wife? Are they talking?
Okay.
What kind of language do they speak at home? Before you now talk about being the children, do they forgive? Do they let go? Or they carry baggages? They abuse it. It is the time of life the parents live, the children will follow. They cannot live far away. Even our local adage will say that mango no the fall far from tree.
But let me ask you. You know, see this line. I've heard people. I'm very sure maybe you have, but I won't make any assumptions here. But I've heard people say, "Look, my parents didn't do right by me, but you see me now. I'm going to make sure I do the very best for my daughter, for my son."
Encounter. When you have encountered the Holy Spirit, you now know that this is wrong, this is bad.
I see.
Most of us today, why we are minding our children is because some things our parents did to us that annoy us, we don't want to do to our own children. We saw how painful it was. We said, no, I will not treat my child like that. We tend to love our children more than the way our parents. We to let honest ourselves. Growing up, can you go and sit and say, Daddy, I want to speak with you. I want to talk to you. Can you try that? Let's be honest. Can you go say your daddy push you, go carry your father's shoe? Where? Can you try that? But today our children are doing that. Daddy, I want to talk to you about an issue. Daddy, I want to discuss this with you. Daddy, look at this. Daddy, let's be honest. That's how we calling Daddy, no be Papa.
Well, I called my own daddy. I called my own daddy. 92.3. Hello, Potako. Good morning, please.
Good morning, Brother Jude. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for joining us, please.
Your question was, should every person have a child?
Yes. Do you think everybody should have a child? And can you identify a good parent?
Let me follow the wisdom of God, my people, who made it the world, the mysterious world, and all the human beings, and made them to be male and female. By his holy word in the book of Genesis 2:24, it says, "For this reason shall a man," and that grammatical word, that man, is in a plural form, not in a singular form, which refers to all the men. So If you read the book of Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 to 28, the Bible says the Holy Word of God says, and God blessed the man and woman and said, have their children. So it is the legal right of every man. It is also the creation right of every man. As Almighty God has made it through His almighty wisdom. That every man, every woman should have a child.
Okay, all right. We'll go for a break, all right? And when we come back, we'll hear more. Please stay tuned.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. Well.
Nigeria info. Rivers elders to appeal as court strikes out suit challenging peace pact. Rivers State government regrets court judgment despite withdrawal of case. Court grants former Anambra Governor Willie Obiano bail. Ondo State Governor Ayedatiwa sacks cabinet members. INEC meets security agencies over by-elections. Port Harcourt residents raise concern over reduced operations of palliative buses. In business, federal government to sell 5 power plants. In entertainment, Nollywood actor Yul Edochie launches online Christian ministry. In sports, Ghana sack coach after group stage AFCON exit. And on the foreign scene, Ukrainian prisoners of war killed in Russian jet crash. Details in the 12 noon bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. 0808 721 7215. My name is Jude Omamegbe. Thank you for listening and good morning. Sunny day in the city of Port Harcourt, and I'm asking the question, ladies and gentlemen, if you can identify who a fit or fit parent is. You see, in France, I think loud, maybe there's no vibe, or misdemeanor or criminal offense. Sometimes, parents don't used to have wealth services or even knock at the door and say, hi, hello, good afternoon, sir. Are you so all right, can we inspect your premises? What's your relationship like with your children? Are you thinking of them, please? Do they feel safe around you? They ask you 30 questions. If you're Nigerian, what is it? Is it your business? They do because the children are not just your granted your children, but they also belong to the state. And so, the children feel that, and in a space, I don't think they can grow up. What they actually weigh you. What thing that you might be declared an unfit parent is the fact that you endanger your children. There are other ways. I don't know. You see, over here in this part of the world, what people would term as endangerment might be bound up. For example, if you put fruits or whatever and the child, hey, go out and sell, hawk on the streets. Over here, people will see it as building character. Yes, to make the picking no say life no easy. But in some places, you might be accused of being an unfit parent. You willingly put your child, your underage child, if the child was 18, for example, old enough an adult to do certain chores, or even 16, they probably just, hey, be very careful and whatnot. But when you ask your 10-year-old, your 8-year-old, your 12-year-old, or your 13-year-old to go on the streets to hawk, they'll say, hey, you are bad. But like I said, over here in parts of Nigeria, you would hear people say, hey, what do you want me to do? Things, hard, potako, hard. Making go sell, if not, we no go chop. So, do you think you can really then say Mr. A is a bad parent or Mr. B is a good parent or treat their child? There are some wealthy homes where the children do absolutely nothing. There's a minder, there's a caterer, there's a driver, there's a security person. There's somebody for everything. But you would hear people say that man is still not a fit parent. He's not there because the child is growing up on his own, doing anything and everything. At 15 in this country, some people were already raising their parents. They were providing for them. They were paying house rent. They were paying school fees for themselves and for their younger ones at 15. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making this story up. At 15 in this country. Would you say those parents were unfit to be parents? And should everybody really have a child?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so we'll use the smart number 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. Once again, 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809-030-6416, and obviously on our social media pages at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and on X. All right, let's get to have you join us in our conversations. 92.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Oh dear, please call back. Hello, good morning.
Yes, bro, Jude, I call back.
Apologies, please. Go on.
Because commercial affected my contributions.
I apologize.
Just like as I was saying, creation or the Almighty God, He made every woman, every man, every woman to be a parent. And by my philosophical thought, every parent is a fit parent. All the parents are fit parents. They are capable parents.
Okay.
But where we have problem is the economic situation of an environment. That is the business condition. If there is a conducive environment in a nation or state where people go about carrying their businesses and things work well, everything, you can't see any child being maltreated. Just like in 1974, 75, 80, where we had a daily life at that time. Fuel, the price of fuel was low. And people go to their businesses. Before they come back, they make a profit of 30,000-40,000 every day. And in the morning, even if their parents are, even if their children at school is from like room or like element, they will give them sufficient money. But today, you go out of business, you cannot even make a profit of 1,000.
Okay.
So how do you take the proper care of your children? So the whole problem is the economy. The economy is not working.
Okay, so the economy is to blame for, in quotes, bad parenting. Daniel is speaking to us from Imo Gates. Good morning to you and welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning. Thank you for your patience, please. It's a pleasure to have you join us, please.
Yes. Let me just follow to what the last caller said. Now, 15 years spending for themselves and all that. I am telling you, if we must copy the Western world, we must copy them economically. Some of these things here within an environment with big grammar, child abuse, and all the rest of them. Have we measured up to the economy of the Western world? Just like the last caller said, if let me die of hunger, when a boy, a girl can go and hawk pure water and provide the food, that is adult. I don't even have a job. No place that I can have a job that will give that I'll be paid 15,000 naira in a month.
But should you then, or should one then endanger that 14, 15-year-old because the father did not or has not gotten a job?
Thank you for your question. If that child cannot do all he can, even to survive by himself, all of us will die. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting take on the subject matter. All right. Tammy says, Jude, please, what's the name of Apostle Paul's wife, let alone his children? Emphasis, sir. This is the choicest of all the apostles. No wife, no child. What about Jesus Christ? Safe to say God designed, but the choice is man's. Michael says, the topic is easy to answer. Not everyone is a Christian or any of the other religious groups that believes in childbearing. Remember, the coin has two sides, so is life. Some will have, some will not. This is to put the life at equilibrium. Just like the illustration I gave when I called, you called, not everyone will go to heaven or hell for those who believe in the life after death. Remember, man is a free moral being created by God. Secondly, we have so many bad parents who were not meant or fit to be parents in the first place, who are not meant to be fit, who are not meant or fit rather to be parents in the first case. But because they try to change the hands of their programmed life, hence they end up becoming bad parents or guardians. Michael, with that suggestion. Interesting. Good morning, Jude. I don't think everybody should be a parent, but not biological parent. I say this again, not everybody should be a parent, but a biological parent. Yes, not everybody will have children. People will have infertility issues. But I believe everybody has a role to play in the guidance and promotion of someone else's life. You can be a guardian, a parent, someone who makes provision, both physically, spiritually, financially, to some other person who necessarily you didn't give birth to. Interesting. That's from Anne. 9.3, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, please. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
This is Mr. Court.
Go on, Court.
Whether they go to our child, everybody knows about our the God show in the world that is for them to go. You don't have a belief in this child. You don't have what it takes to something. You have no need of it. Remember, we say, you know what's good, and it is for you to see. But you know, Bible people that can let them people. So you really know that you don't have all that power of bringing the children off. You don't need them. Even if God says we should go and supplicate, it's non-compulsory. It's not a sin if you don't have them. Generally, from Genesis to Revelation, there's nowhere Bible says that if you don't have a child, that you have sinned against the Lord. If you know, the fact is not so, then it's not compulsory. It's what you have. Some people have them as a bad motion to defy them, to use them as ritual. It's a good one. So for that reason, everybody wants to have a child.
All right, thank you very much. Correct, because not everybody's meant to have a child. Now let's get to social media now, shall we? Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH. All right, so this one we're talking about fit and unfit parents. And I asked a question: do you think you can identify someone who is not a fit father or a fit mother? What criteria would you be employing? What scenarios, what considerations do you make? Like I said earlier on, in this part of the world, if you were to see a teenager on the street hawking, all right, nobody's going to say, in Mama a bad man or in Mama a bad woman. Most people would not. Most people would say, look, the economy is bad, and so what do you want the child or the parents to do? Everybody needs to go out to do their little bit so that they all find something to eat at the end of the day. However, I had to ask this question. The fact that the economy is biting, and I have to be honest, in the past 3 years, it has been biting really hard. For as long as I could remember, I've read so many papers. I don't know if you remember this popular print media newspaper back in the Champion. I saw an old piece. Someone cut it out, and back then, guess what? Nigerians were groaning. That was the word that was used. Were groaning under the economic hardship as fuel climbed to 11 naira. Can you beat that? Nigerians were groaning. So it's always been there. But despite all of these economic challenges, would you still justify a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 12-year-old hawking on the streets? Is that the sign of a good father or a good mother? Or the child, 10, 15, who is working, his father is a carpenter, he's come back from school, he's hard at the workshop, making chairs, Wouldn't you say, that's a good son, that's a good child, he's supporting the family business? In some places, that man, that woman, whatever the business or businesses are, may be criticized. So who then says Mr. A is a fit parent and Mr. B is not a fit parent? Who or what then decides? That's the question I'm asking. And then secondly, should everybody have a child? Really? 070-0923-0923 070-0923-0923. Once again, that's the smart number. It's pretty easy to memorize, all right? 070-0923-0923. Obviously, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Hello? See? That makes sense. 070-0923-0923. I have just about 7 minutes before we'll be handing over, to the afternoon shifts and all those things that come with the afternoon crew. Now, let's read messages now. 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Jude, there are lots of unfit parents in our society today, and they come in every cadre, whether they are rich, middle class, or even the poorest of the poor. Jude, there are some parents who are not meant to be parents. These individuals do not put or make any positive impact in their child or their children's lives, and this cuts across board. I believe some people should really not have children. But sadly, it is those people who are not meant to have children that are going all over the place having numerous children. David. David said it's sad that it's those whom he thinks shouldn't be having children that are the ones having plenty of them. Plenty children all over the place. 070-0923-0923 070-0923-0923. Once again, just drop your name with the call screener. All right, we're going back to the smart number 070-0923-0923 070-0923-0923. All right, that's what we're going to right now. The other numbers work, but if you want to get to us very quickly, that's the number you should use. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook. Ima Harry on Facebook says, when it comes to issues of having children, we as individuals don't have control over who should have or what should not have. It is not the strength we use while sleeping with the woman that begats the pregnancy. No, it is only when nature says we will have that it occurs. No one should see childbearing as a prerogative. Interesting. Nobody should see it as a prerogative. John is speaking to us from Rumokoro. John, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Joe.
Good morning, John.
Yeah, if you look at the system of governance we have in Nigeria, as soon as the nomenclature of that presidency or whatever comes to power, the first thing all of them does is to target at the common mass. Look at the whole of their economic policies they bring. Which one is favoring the common man on the street? father or a reverend sister. How many of reverend fathers do we have or reverend sisters? If at your age now, you are not married, in the next 1 or 2 years, your parents will start telling you, go and get married. Go and get married. You understand? So it is the government, right from the time when it's sold at 11 naira or whatever, it's to 40 something naira. The first thing the government, 1999 today, the first thing all of them does is to first look at that way.
Okay.
Well, that's the only problem we have in Nigeria.
So wait, John, let's not dwell only on that economic side. Are you saying that's justification for the way some people raise their children? Do you think everybody should have a child?
Why not? What is the progression? Why would we get experience? Let me tell you, in Tanzania, when you look at their system of education from primary level, it is the school that takes care of the pupils. The school. It is, if you are going to borrow government get to primary school, you must do agriculture in that school that you will send. That from that your protein you used to buy stock, you used to buy uniform for students. Everybody is involved. You understand? But in Nigeria here, the education is not even promised. Tomorrow is not promised. So it becomes the survivor defeated.
Okay, so John, before I let you go, let me ask you one more question. Do you think you, John, you can identify who a fit and unfit parent is?
I cannot identify because society has placed all of us in the same podium. The society has made it. You don't even know who is who again.
Okay, all right. John says we can't tell who is who. Well, before we step out, Dennis Wall is in the studio. Dennis, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, Jude. How are you doing?
All right, you can breathe well, easy, because it's obvious that this staircase that you're climbing is affecting you. You need exercise. You need to be fit.
I don't understand.
Be fit.
I'm carrying extra weight. That's why.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, we have to be fit. You know, fit and do all these things. But what's coming up on the sunny side later on today?
Oh, today is International Day of Education.
Indeed. I had some smart students on earlier on.
Yeah, I saw from your prep. I didn't have the chance to listen. I will be having someone who has been campaigning for accessibility to the classrooms for people that are disabled.
Oh,
yes.
Cool.
So we're going to talk about structural reasons why some people are out of school and what needs to be done. She's an alumna of University of Port Harcourt, a tech expert, and also a change leader.
Okay. All right.
She's going to be expressing her thought as one who lives with a disability on the said matter. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. All right, that seems to be like now. Before we say our goodbyes, we're having a conversation here about who do you think is a fit parent. Some people in some countries, what people here are condemning as good parenting would be seriously frowned upon. Exactly. So, but let me ask you, you move around. What comes to your mind when you see some parents carrying their babies, and I mean babies, whilst they are driving with one hand? I must say that it is highly unsafe. However, in their defense, I'm talking from personal experience, sometimes the kids can be a handful. And you know how you say you can't tell a child, a child has a will of his own, and at the same time you are looking out for this child's safety, and the child is screaming all over the place and yelling all over the place. It's really unfit. It's really unsafe, I beg your pardon. To do that. Yeah, so park the car and take up the child.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.
Against a land, let's